You're back.
I'm eating. Talk.
All right. So we had 2 very long games, 2 very well done games. I actually really appreciate both games for different reasons. I felt the first one was actually an exemplary TVT. For Tal'Darim Altar, for the current state of the game, amazing TVT. For the last one, Ghosts. It was all about the ghosts.
Well, it's funny. I almost feel like that might change. If people start using that technique more, that will change the whole way the matchup looks.
It absolutely will, because look at the Broodlord costs so much. But you have just a handful of ghosts, like, get them kind of early so you have enough energy, and you kill a bajillion Broodlords, man. A bajillion.
Well, here's the funny thing about it is that Terrans are always, complaining, there's no way to stop these Broodlords in the late game. I try to get, I get Vikings, and then, of course, Zerg-Tex to Ultralisks after that, and the game base ends. But clearly, Ghosts are a pretty healthy counter.
Yeah.
Now, our next matchup is going to be Zenio against MVP.
Mine, I was wrong. They changed the format. It's winner against winner.
I think it's good. It makes it a little bit more epic in this process. Now, the map is going to be Zelnaga Fortress. And Zenio has to be feeling good about that previous game, but again, that was an exhausting game. MVP did get a little bit of a break. But that's just life, man.
That's life. Well, we will see who will advance in the round of 16 right now. Who will it be, Taste? Who do you think?
I would go with MVP.
I think, well, he's definitely the favorite.
Zenio's good, but MVP on this map, too.
And it is time for Crossfire.
I believe our map is actually Crossfire. Look at your screen. I was like, this map is going to be tough. Our graphic was wrong. The map will be Crossfire. So sit tight, guys. We're going to get this Codex game going here. Zenio against MVP here at the GSL. Down here in the bottom left, a member of Team OGS, an amazing Terran vs. Zerg player, as we saw in the previous game, but can he beat his opponent? His name is? That's right.
There he is.
And now, to Zenio's opponent. His opponent, easily one of the most well-known, famous players in Starcraft 2.
I am MVP.
Yeah, he's got
Stay
2
back,
GSL
guys. You're in the splash section. It's like SeaWorld.
Yeah. It's like they got a tarp over themselves in the front row. She splashes you, and then Gallagher smashes a melon.
We need a splash section here at the GSL, where if you get close enough to where we're sitting, you see how much we're spitting as we cast.
That's what we do. Tasteless cast like Daffy Duck, Donald Duck, or whatever. The one that spits.
I think they both spit.
Do they? Ducks. That's unfair to ducks, to be perfectly honest. Who says ducks actually spit? No, they quack, and I've never seen a duck spit while it quacks. Have you?
Well, try doing a duck impression with your mouth, and you'll see actually you spit a lot.
Quack.
That's a terrible impression, all right? It's like doing a dog impression. You're like, woof. No, Artosis. No. Now, Terran vs. Zerg on this map is interesting. It's pretty tough, actually, for the Zerg unless you have really good counterattacks. Because first of all, it's hard to flank Terran. It's a bunch of narrow hallways with little backdoor entries. And then second of all, if Terran pushes towards your first expansion, there's a high ground area they can build bunkers on and have siege tank and vision advantage. So
now
you got to be careful.
The things that do work in Zerg's favor, of course, are things like Baneling landmines are going to be more effective because it's a much thinner map. It's a lot easier to predict where a Terran's army will be. If you do certain flanks, like Baneling flanks, that's going to be helpful. One thing I would love to see on this map is more Zenix line style. Not a lot of Banelings, just Zerglings and Mutas. You get a ton of Mutas here. You can really abuse the mobility of Terran on a map like this.
SCV ready.
And that's what I would like to see, Tasteless, because I know you were just dying to know.
I am dying to know.
You are actually much like Santa Claus to me. I sit on your lap at the beginning of each GSL, and I say, these are the things I would like to see Tasteless Claus. You say, I will check my list twice. If you are good, I'll bring you those things. Well, thank you, Tasteless. I guess I was good, because today the games have been quite nice.
You know, a professional Santa Claus. I met a guy who was a professional Santa Claus.
Yeah.
They didn't get up to $100 an hour being a professional Santa
That's
Claus.
pretty sick, man.
Yeah, like the best ones.
I'm all done with StarCraft. I'll see you guys
I'm
later.
gonna go be a Santa Claus.
I'm gonna go grow a nice.
Not
big
all,
gut.
only the best ones get that, but
Oh yeah.
some might even get more. You know.
Imagine if you're the best Santa Claus, like the real Santa Claus. He like makes a killing delivering toys once a year. What a fake! What a phony!
Looks like we're going to see quick Hellion openers. This is so common now. It's almost the mainstream build. And I was close. It almost makes sense in this case to do us building this because Zerg took the MVP's gas. MVP is taking it out now, but you know, if you can't get your gas right away, you might as well, if you were going for a gas build early on, get some Hellions out. And look at that. Just 2 quick Hellions, enough to take out Zerglings on the map. Maybe hit a creep tumor.
And the thing is, he can't know it's just 2. You know, he has to actually prepare for 4, 6, maybe even 8. And
that's the scary thing.
That is the scary thing. He's already made a creep tumor as his front to help defend with his queens. He's got his queens in position. In fact, he's got his queens too much in position at the moment, using 2 instead of 1 to block the ramp. So already these 2 Hellions.
MVP is supply blocked for a little bit. That just got fixed, but
what a jerk.
He's not a jerk. Would you talk about it that way? All right, Zenio trying to slip an overloading here. Back in the expansion. The Hellions actually will not be able to get in there. Yeah,
got the creep tumor, though.
MVP didn't see that there were Zerglings up on the high ground, but if he tried to go up there, he would see that Zenio would deny him pretty quickly.
You know, even getting that creep tumor is pretty decent. And another spine crawler on the way, so he's a little bit nervous about it.
Yeah, Zenio not in a good position here.
Siege mode is on the way. Expansion coming up for MVP. Going down and expanding right away without siege mode.
I would assume that he would actually just push. You get a few more barracks and then push here. We've seen that a lot. Although MVP does so many different things, it's a little bit tougher to predict what he's actually doing.
That's quite true. Well, Zenio, on the other hand, going for a pretty quick layer. Well, he has 3 gas already. So, Baneling Nest.
Maybe burrowed banelings here.
You know, I would love to see something like that. I'm not exactly sure, though. Maybe a high economy baneling aggression. He is making 10 more Zerglings at the moment, so getting a fair amount of Zerglings out there. But against the siege mode, which is just finishing now, that's not going to be all that useful.
And Zenio will probably check the patches at the minerals at that expansion. Obviously, there'll be one that'll be extraordinarily low. Because it's going to have a mule landed in it, but you know, he looks at the one that has the highest one. That gives him a rough idea of how long MVP's had that expansion.
4th gas has been taken, no drones on it quite yet. And we don't have any baneling speed, there we go. So as the layer finishes, baneling speed does begin, as well as burrow. You're right, Tasteless.
All right,
burrow on the way.
So yeah, he's going to go for a burrowed baneling build. Now you got to be careful. Whoa, MVP is actually, this almost looks like this is timed out so he can get there before burrowed banelings.
Well, it certainly does.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty early push. He might have actually wanted to just go mass Zerglings.
Yeah, and in fact, he is making 12 more lings right now. He has a decent amount so far. In fact, this might be bad by MVP.
He looks like he might get sandwiched here.
He might possibly, and the timings on those are a little bit slow. But actually, they're going to delay it, and that's all he needed.
Yeah, he's going to turn around now.
With these extra Zerglings coming out, he might actually just crush this, Tasteless.
Well, he's going to have a really good angle here.
He actually has a ton of Zerglings in the way. He might just kill MVP and take first in the group.
Yeah, he's out in the middle of the map, but he's not even able to reinforce right now. I think MVP is kind of at a loss. Like, where do I move my army to?
He needs to go home.
You cannot be out on the map like this.
Burrow is on the way.
Uh-oh.
Couple Banes. He wanted to burrow him up there. Not going to happen. Not quite that quick.
Burrow, not quite done yet. Almost done.
MVP very smartly joining up forces.
Look at that. Okay, that was really nice by MVP.
And I feel like Zenio may have had a slight timing there to do a sick flank and actually eliminate those 3 siege shanks as well as the Marines. And, I mean, you do that once in the early game, and the rest of the game is a lot easier for Zerg.
Now, Zenio's expanding again here. That expansion is very difficult for Terran to push yet. It's just really out of the way. Terran is probably not going to expand just yet. He might, but it's tough for Terran to actually hold any of the additional bases after the first one because you're kind of far out. Yeah, you can get a planetary, but obviously you'd ideally want to have an orbital so you can, you know, keep boosting your economy.
Yep. Well, we do have a ton of mutas on the way. I cannot wait to see where he wants to put his baneling landmines. I'm sure that's what he's going to be going for shortly here. Laying creep at the top left with an overlord, as you see on the mini-map. prevent any expansion, but he's probably going to want to put burrowed baneling zerglings everywhere as well, just to scout everything out.
Yeah.
You got to know when your opponent's trying to expand, and little things like a burrowed zergling at every expand is going to not only make you much more confident, make you feel much safer because you know what's going on, or at least what's not going on, which is expansions, but also it's going to mess with MVP. He's going to have to either build a turret there first, scan, and as he takes those expands, his APM's already going to be taxed doing other things on the map.
Right.
So it's a beautiful move, one that I hope we see very shortly here, and in fact I know that's what we're about to see. So there.
All right, there are some burrowed banelings littered about the map. Now, the problem is most Terrans know that this is a common strategy here, especially something like MVP.
He's even made a turret up there that shows you how common he knows it is.
Yeah, so he might only have to save up 3 or 4 scans if he really wants to push all the way down here. See, he's scanning once. He may make a turret here again as he inches forward here. Now, Zenio right now has just got his expansion up. He's probably trying to make drones, but unfortunately he can't because he's being pushed. Will that spot that baneling? No, that's barely out of the vision. Wow.
Well, that's not the path he's going up, so should be fine anyways. We do have Zenio he's actually doing a weird thing right now. He's making a few mutas, a few lings, and a few drones, which normally is not the way you want to do it.
Yeah, you don't want to do a bunch of things at once when something dramatic like this is happening.
It's much better in rounds. Just make full rounds of units. Or you can't
he's going to be careful.
Yeah, he does.
Ah, now that is an MVP. That's why MVP is so good.
That's why he's MVP, man. Most valuable player.
All right, looks like he could probably just slip over there with submarines and deny that expansion. Look at this scary army of MVP.
He's really...
Look at this.
He's doing a great push here. He's pretty well defended at home.
Now mutas are going to go in and try to attack over here. He wants the Terran army to turn around. MVP is not turning around.
He has decided to go for it when the mutas are out of position, realizing that he can gain a lot of ground during this time.
Now here's the problem, is that he's not even mining from his only expansion. Zenio is going for the orbital, excuse me. So MVP is going to rapidly push over here. Will he go for the bottom right expansion, or will he try to go for the main expansion? We're going to see.
He might want to send little groups everywhere, Tasteless, and oh my god, the command center has died, Tasteless.
Yeah, the orbital's gone.
MVP is pretty much all in from here.
MVP has no time to waste.
This is pretty scary indeed. But he has a lot of units.
There are a lot of
siege tanks.
Yeah.
The siege tank's going to play such a pivotal role here.
But I would think if all the mutas and the Zerglings regroup, there's no way that Zerglin wouldn't be able to hold this off. Unless MVP's micro is just that good.
Well, the mutas coming in from behind, taking out siege tanks. 2 of them taken out with no loss. Beautiful move right there. 3 taken out with very little loss.
MVP's in huge trouble.
Yeah, losing those 3 siege tanks is actually gigantic. And here we go. Marching in here with all his units is Zenio, and I don't think that
MVP screwed this game up. I
mean,
he
did.
He had a scary push, and then
well, the counterattack was beautiful by Zenio. We have to hand it to him. I mean, that was good timing and everything, and now MVP has nothing left. Yeah, that's scary. Look at those. 3 Marines, lol. We'll be seeing GG any second here. Really well played by Zenio on this map.
I'm a little bit surprised that this game looked like this. MVP just was not ready for a counterattack with the mutas.
You know, one thing I do have to say, very low on banelings this game was Zenio, so he had a lot more mutas, I think, than MVP's used to. One of these more muta-ling-heavy styles. And that counterattack, that's what did it. If he had far less mutas, let's say he had like 5 less mutas, that probably wouldn't have quite looked like that, you know? So, really great job there. The siege tanks not being all that useful, and there we
that's
go.
it. Expect GG right now.
Yep. And there it is. GG and Zenio, big surprise, advances in first place. He's my choice for probably 3rd in the group.
Yeah,
but
me
here
too.
he is.
Well, I never expected Zenio to be the one that beats MVP. But, you know, MVP, he's not as invincible as he once was.
No,
he sort of moved a little bit down the ladder.
He was invincible.
Yeah, whenever he was like, LOL, but you just bring MVP out and the game ends.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to be the case anymore.
Yeah, he used to be a Colossus.
Now Zenio,
and now he's a Colossus in the new Starcraft.
Yeah, now he's a Colossus with thermal lance. No. No, but seriously, he's just, that game was lackluster coming from him.
No, I liked how he played overall, but it was exactly how he played if his opponent had gone for the more Baneling-heavy Zerg vs. Terran style, which has been so popular. Because, I mean, he even saw that his opponent rush to Banelings, so I almost think it was almost a good call the way he played. If he had gone for that very Baneling-heavy style, had like 5, 6, maybe even 7 less mutas because he has so many Banelings sitting around, then I think he would have won that. He had so many Siege Shanks, but with that many mutas...
There was like, what, 1 or 2 turrets defending for that counterattack? I mean, that...
Well, the thing is,
you
could
more than
float
that.
it away a little bit, and if there's less mutas, they don't kill the turrets as quickly, they don't kill anything as quickly. In the
how
old
many
metagame...
mutas attacked?
At that
in
point,
that group.
I think it was something like 16.
See, that's so many that...
Yeah, see, if it's much less
even if
than
he
that,
sent his army back, he would have not been able to save it. So
yeah, no, he was going to lose that command center, definitely.
Yeah.
But if it was Baneling style, it would not have been that many. So I like it, but I like even more the new style that Zenix Line has shown us that Zenio just kind of did.
The more Zergling-intensive armies.
Yeah, Zergling Muta. Big fan of that, Tasus, right here.
Well, it's good. It's good to see the metagame changing. Our next matchup is going to be SC against Bjorn. So just so you guys understand what's going on so far, Zenio is already into the round of 16.
Yes. And
he's one of our top 16 players.
Our next thing is going to decide who goes to up and down. Loser of this goes up and down. The winner of it plays MVP.
That's right. So, MVP has quite a lot of games up for him today.
Indeed. And one of these guys does as well. Crevasse is going to be the map. Bjorn against SC Boyu. I gotta say, SC definitely the favorite here.
Yep. Well,
Bjorn has some very strategical TVT.
Bjorn's very good at TVT, but SC and MVP sort of outshine this guy. I think Bjorn actually sticks out to me more TVT, especially with the Ghost play.
Yeah, I really am a big fan of his TVT. I like all his matchups.
His Reaper openings are pretty cool, too. I just like the way he's approaching the game.
Yeah, he's trying new stuff all the time. Versatile player. Well, the countdown has begun.
It's time. Woo! Yeah! Wow! All right, it's SC against Bjorn. Terran versus Terran. SC, probably the favorite here, but Bjorn, a very resilient player. He's been here since the beginning, always improving, always getting better. Let's find out who's going to win between these two Titans here at the GSL.